So to refresh your memory, we were here on Petro Non Fuels. This is the same thing. It's just a mass production of products in the industry that come from petroleum products, which are what? Rubber, and we're going to call it synthetic. Plastics is definitely correct. Fiber. And the same as coal and natural gas. Yes. Medicines. There's so many things that I am not even telling you. There's a lab titled Life Without Petroleum, and you have to design a kitchen without petroleum, and it's like they give you a list of products that are made, and it takes about 20 minutes for people to start thinking of ways to design this kitchen without products made from petroleum. So I'm just giving you a couple of examples. The list is endless. I mean, if you ever want to Google it, it's a lot. So what are some advantages to using petroleum? And again, whenever we reference advantages, we're going to be talking about advantages in comparison to other fossil fuels. And then once you guys start your projects, you're going to be comparing non-renewable sources to renewable and other renewables. Okay, so your advantages and disadvantages kind of expand because now there's so many different things. So what's an advantage to using petroleum as a fossil fuel? Easy to transport? Cheap? Advanced technology? Efficient? And what's going on here? What is this picture showing you? Let's not use the word pollution. Less what? What's going on there? Less disruption of land. I mean, you're literally drilling. Whoops. You're pumping down into the earth and with, a drill and trying to extract petroleum or natural gas. And it's less disturbance than blasting, removing overburden, all of those things that cause a lot of damage to land. So this type of mining is actually one of the least damaging to the environment, except when you look at the environments as a whole. So I'll go back if you need more time. Just let me keep going. So this is what I'm talking about here. When we drill, where do we drill? We drill in the tundra, we drill in the oceans, and we drill in forests. All of these are destroying, and that should say destroying, biomes, okay? Because in order to get oil from the tundra, what happens to the tundra? By building these pipelines and drilling in the tundra. Fragmentation. What else? What happens to the biome? Let's not use that word, okay? I'm actually going to pause the video. So remember, the tundra is a fragile biome. So any disturbance to that biome is going to take a long time for it to regenerate, if it can, because there's very little decomposition. So adding a pipeline across the tundra will affect migration patterns. It'll cause fragmentation. But more importantly, it'll destroy the biome's ability to recover because it's so fragile. Now, we also find a lot of unconventional petroleum in the forest. So we cut down the forest. Now, try to link cutting down the forest to loss of biodiversity for me right now. Start small. Because of mining for petroleum, there is a link to loss of biodiversity. Yes. You jumped. So we're going to destroy the forest, which means you're doing what? What are you doing if you're destroying the forest? Or deforestation? You're killing trees. So you're reducing the quantity and variety of different types of species of trees. And in a forest, a tree is a very important species, right? Why? Because many other species depend on that tree for food and for, you said the word before, shelter or habitat. So there will be a chain reaction of different species amount of species and variety of species being affected by loss of trees. And that leads to loss of diversity of other species. There's your link, okay? And then you've got mining in also oceans, which is very exploratory and a lot of the future. And you know that is could have a direct effect on everything because our oceans make up most of our water. Now remember that petroleum is non-renewable, and what type of petroleum is only around for 50 years? Crude, what kind though? Not shale. Well, shale can be considered, no. Shale would be the other one. Shale is what type of oil? Unconventional. So the one we have 50 years left is conventional, okay? And just to show you, yes, we found unconventional forms of oil and petroleum, but remember that in order to get it, it's harder to mine. You're going to lose efficiency because you went through more transformations. So at the end of the day, yes, it's great, and it has larger effects on the environment. We have it, but it's gonna be detrimental. All right, this is the last part, and I'm gonna elaborate a little bit on this. So we're gonna talk about, what am I showing here? Because I'm gonna go back to Preston's word. What is this showing? Amount of what? Emissions or pollutions. So let's go through each one of these pictures and link pollution to this. So if we're gonna talk about energy, petroleum, and pollution, make the connection. This was a problem on your test, and this is why I'm recording this video. And this slide, as small as it is, it's going to be on your test. So link pollution, petroleum, and energy production.
The way energy is produced with petroleum is that they're burned, and so every time you have the burning, like organic compounds, particulate matter, and carbon dioxide, as well as nitrous oxides, are released.
Perfect. During energy production, petroleum is burned, and during the burning of fossil fuels, emissions such as carbon dioxide, sulfur oxides, particulate matter, nitrous oxides, all get emitted, most of them greenhouse gases, which leads to global warming. You want to keep going. Some lead to acid rain. Yes? Good. How does forest, and there's not really much pollution there, how does forest link to petroleum? We just said it. We cut down trees because we need to drill into the forest to find petroleum. What does this do to the environment? So now link it to the environment. We said it, loss of diversity, and we explained it. Forests are responsible for cleaning the amounts of CO2 in the atmosphere, making the planet cooler, and also providing us with food and oxygen. Link it to agriculture. So petroleum to agriculture to pollution. Super easy, fast. Transportation, that's the link. Anything that has to do with transportation in an agriculture is going to lead to that. Same thing here. And industry, link industry to petroleum. We just covered this slide 5 seconds ago.
All the stuff that they make, like plastic.
Good.
Tires.
All the stuff that's made in the industry, like plastic, fibers, all are petroleum products, and in the process of making them, produce waste, pollute the atmosphere, whatever you want to say. Okay, good.